the NFL a little bit. Kings Rewind, everyone's favorite segment at 7:43 Supersize.
A double shot.
And 8 a.m. we'll get a Kings-Lakers audio post-game and thoughts completely. In the meantime, 3 for Madness question 1.
What did you think about the free throw disparity in last night's game?
I thought there was one. So here's the thing, man. It's always interesting when it's the Lakers. And I don't care. Everyone knows how I feel about this season. I don't like losing the Lakers. I really don't like losing the Lakers on our home floor. And I don't like it when their third scoring option goes off for 51 points.
Right.
Okay. So don't like any of that. They were 41 of 46. The Kings were 12 of 18. 46 to 18 is your discrepancy. And everybody's favorite stat today, Austin Reeves had 22 Austin Reeves made 21 free throws. The Kings shot 18. Now he was 21 of 22 to be fair, but still, Austin Reeves got 4 more free throw attempts than the Sacramento Kings. So I am certainly in the camp of we got screwed in Game 6. I am certainly of the camp that the Lakers, for years, we brought this stat up, right? Like, just laying the credentials out here. We remember that stat we had last year, and I think the year before that showed, like, over the last 4 years, the disparity between the Lakers' free throw attempts and the second place team. And, like, the difference.
Close to double.
It is. Like, the difference between the Lakers and the second team is, like, the same distance as, like, between the second team and the 15th team. It's ridiculous, right? There's no doubt about it that LeBron James and the Lakers get a really good whistle. Luka Doncic gets a good whistle. The Lakers get a good whistle. However, and nobody wants to hear this, were there some bad calls last night? Yes, there were. Should the Lakers have gotten that many free throws versus the Kings? No. But it wasn't as egregious as if you, how do I say this? If the Kings take 4 times the amount of three-pointers as the other team, they're weirdly enough going to have a lot more missed three-pointers. If one team is talking a ton of trash to the refs and they get 6 technical fouls and the other one gets 0, and you go, hey, they had 6 and we got 6 technical fouls and the other team got 0. Meh, refs, right? Well, yeah, but we're also the only ones talking trash. The way the Lakers play is conducive to them getting to the line. Now, if you want to call the Lakers free throw merchants, I'm here for it 100%. That's how they play. Also, when you're playing a smaller team versus a bigger team, this stuff's going to happen because a lot of this is happening inside. Plus, Austin Reeves is driving the key so much, he might as well be in a brand new Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram right up there in Woodland. Thank you. We'll get to that a little bit later. Yes, there was a disparity, but I'm not here for the Kings loss because the refs screwed them.
Yeah, there's a lot from this game that we spent a lot of time in the post game. So first and foremost on the fouls that the Kings committed, I think they did a really poor job of defending like the high pick and roll in the screen. So the guards were always trailing.
Terrible job.
It left the interior a little bit open. The Kings roster construction becomes a problem again because they played smaller.
Yeah.
Their best big was Sabonis, who, by the way, was in foul trouble.
Yes.
So
was Keon Ellis.
Yeah. So then you get into the bonus early in a quarter, and the Lakers kept going to the line. Mm-hmm. Now, on the side where I'll give the Lakers credit, I think G-Man had this stat at the end of the game, Dave, and they've only played, this was their 3rd game. But if they shot their percentage from the line in the first 2 games, they would not have won.
Really?
If they shot, they're shooting like 77%.
Yeah.
Well, that amount of misses would,
yes,
the game would have been different. But that's interesting. So they made their free throws to their credit.
89%.
Now, on the other side of it, it's a little bit to me akin to when, every play is holding in the NFL. It's just when they call it. Well, it just felt like, okay, if there's always a foul, you called a lot on the Kings.
Yeah.
You just did. So I did a little reference. I go, let's go to that first game of the year, that great double overtime Rockets-Thunder game. They played 10 more minutes.
Yes.
The Rockets took 31 free throws. The Thunder took 22. 10 more minutes in this game. So, again, I don't know if that's a fair comparison. The other thing I will say about the officials, and I think both sides would say this, there were 4 challenges. All were overturned.
Yeah.
So they missed 4. There was another one late in the game that they went to the side to like whether the ball hit the rim, which they said it didn't.
Yeah.
It did. They had a bad night. They missed a lot of calls.
I completely agree that these were not A-plus referees, and the challenges kind of show that, too.
Yeah, and I think Doug called it just because he's like, I got to get your guy's head on here. Like, Doug was just mad that he didn't want to use the second challenge, and he won that one. You could just, I don't know. That's the interpretation I had. So, it was an odd game in that sense. But again, I think a lot of it goes back to roster construction. If I'm playing the Kings, I'm attacking them.
100%.
When they play the non-Sabonis bigs, I don't think those guys have given them a lot.
Yeah.
They're going to play the smaller a lot. Kings shot more threes. They nearly won the game because they hit threes. Lakers won the game because they made their free throws. It's frustrating.
You're right. This might be a left brain hip check from me too, because I don't want the fan. I get it. I just don't want the fan base to be like, that's why. In the sense of, dude, also, like, go back and look at their defensive possessions.
Yeah.
But to be fair, the end of the game, that last 2-3 minutes, dude, the Kings defense was on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they were playing Tasmanian devil style defense, and I was completely here for it. I was having fun. I was applauding the hustle. Like, that's what I want to see. And I understand that that's not sustainable for 48. You just flat out don't have the energy to do that for 48 minutes. But my God, that was phenomenal.
It was. And so I think the number I'm going to watch to see, I think 46 will be the most free throws the Kings give up this year. And it happened in game 3.
Didn't I hear that Austin Reeves broke the record for most free throws made against the Kings in franchise history?
Might be.
I think I heard that on the TV postgame last night.
And also, you look at, okay, so the Lakers with Luka, the first 2 games, and they had nearly 100 points.
Yes.
I think they had 28 and 32 free throws. So, I mean, and he's a guy that gets calls.
And by the way, to your point, they got that done without LeBron or Luka, two of the biggest, best whistles in the game.
Yeah, so now they play SGA next. He gets a lot of free throw attempts. It's a high number. It really is. I mean, I think there was going to be a disparity. That's really drastic.
And I think also we're going to look back at this game too. Maybe I'm wrong. I think in about 20 games, we're going to be able to look back at this game and go, okay, well, that was a lot, but wow, the Kings lead the league in most free throws attempted against them. Like, I think you're going to see a lot of, depending on the team.
Yeah, because the first 2, I did that at math last night. The Jazz and the Suns combined for 44, and they had 46 last night.
Crazy.
So the first 2 games, they had less than last night alone.
I wonder if I'm sure somebody's got to publish a list of free throw attempts allowed per team.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Kings are probably up right now because of last night's game, but it'll be interesting to see after 20. That being said, a lot of other issues, not just last night, but also in the win against Utah and when they played, against the Suns.
I think you could look at this and go, if you go the optimistic way or positive way, you go, man, the Kings could be 3-0. Mm-hmm. Could.
They could.
They could be 0-3.
They could.
And they got 1 of 2, which I think probably should be 2-1. So they're behind on the, getting a break, not getting breaks.
Wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you play the Lakers without Luka and LeBron, it's not a gimme, but you'd rather have that option, and they didn't take advantage of it at home too.
No, at home.
And I thought they actually played pretty well. It wasn't a game where they were awful. No, they were offensively. I thought they were really pretty good.
Well, and on top of that, I mean, how often are you going to see Russell Westbrook going 4 of 6 from beyond the arc too? I don't know how many times you're going to see that.
Yeah, what was the collection for the team? It was good.
12 of 18.
No, that's free throws.
That's free throws. So free throws, they went 12 of 18. 42%, 18 of 43. 42% isn't banging down the doors, but it's a good percentage.
Yeah.
But on that kind of volume, it's really good.
Yeah, so they made 18 to the Lakers 8. You got 30 more points beyond the arc. Now they got, I think, 29 more at the line. But
Number 2.
Question 2.
Keon Ellis got his first start of the young season last night. What did you think of his performance?
I thought he had a tough game. A lot of it you could. Here's what I think happened. I think he got in. I think he pushed a lot. I think he wanted to show that he deserves to start. And I think that's good. I think he went. He did everything he could to make a difference on the defensive side, but he got into foul trouble early, and I think that frustrated him. understandably, and I think he pushed a little bit. I think it was a very frustrating night for him. You look at the numbers, 6 points. He was the only starter not in double figures, but he also only played 18 minutes as opposed to 31, 40, 35, and 40 for everybody else. He started, and there were 6 people, including Westbrook and Monk, that played significantly more minutes than he did. He did have a couple of steals. He shot 40% from the field, but really, I don't think Keon's night was anywhere near his standards, especially with the situation. And I do think that the foul trouble factored in.
Yeah, he got the 2 early, so he went to the bench. I think he had the opening tip. He went right down and scored.
Opening tip was right back and then bling, and then, hey, here's a nice big dunkaroo. It was great.
So he, along with Sabonis, a lot of the night in foul trouble, ultimately ended up fouling out. It's the third game. They've had 3 different starting lineups, and until Keegan comes back, I think they're going to do it by matchups. Utah was very big, so we saw Isaac Jones start. I think about, when Neek and Keegan come back, it'll be great.
Yes.
But I just don't know how they're going to do all of this. And I think they might even be smaller than they're playing now consistently. So, he's caught up. I think last night, every night, I think every time the game ends, I'm always going to go, like last night, I felt Monk should have played more. That's me personally. And I think we're going to say that every night. Oh, man, maybe Keon should have played more. Oh, Keegan, or pick your player. Because of the way their roster construction, there's always going to be someone that doesn't get enough minutes. And that's not why they win or lose, but that's the way they're built.
All year long, I'm going to do my best, Jason, because when we did our NBA preview, our Kings preview, I said, look, I haven't figured out, I don't think I've figured out Scott Perry yet. Like, he may be doing a rebuild in front of our eyes, and he's not being overt about it. But so far, all his moves have been short-term, nothing long-term, and with the exception of Keegan or whatever. But I'm trying to look for clues as to, well, is he doing? Here's one thing that kind of sticks out in my head, and I'm going to ask you to try to. If I can't explain it, I'm going to want to magnify it a little bit more. True or false, the Kings are light on the front line.
True.
True or false, the Kings are especially light at the power forward.
True.
Especially with Keegan out, that magnifies it, right? Can you think of a good reason why Trey Lyles is making the NBA minimum in Europe and we didn't re-sign him?
Not a great reason, no.
I literally can't think of one.
No. If you were able to get him for that here, it would make sense.
The NBA vet minimum is 3.3. He's making 3.5. Right. I'm pretty sure he would have stayed here for 3.3.
And I just don't know why no one else did either. I'm not saying that's in it because I like Trey Lyles. He would help this team.
I need to be incredibly clear. This is not me saying Trey Lyles is the difference maker and, oh, my God, yet to your point, no other NBA team signed it. But we know what he did here. We know what he's capable of here, which is bench minutes that are decent, which they're sorely missing. Throwing around Saric and whoever the hell. No disrespect to these guys.
Yeah.
Saric, Isaac Jones, and what's his face? The other kid, Auburn. Cardwell, who, by the way, may end up, especially with Jones and really Cardwell, may end up being something. None of those three, to me, are at the level of Trey Lyles.
No. And they're just not getting the production. So the only thing I could think of, I don't know if Trey's camp is going, we'd sign, but we need multiple years, or we're not doing it. I'm
no.
guessing.
That's fair. That's fair. If it's a Lyles situation where, God, that's tough to imagine that they'd rather go there because he's on a 1-year deal in Europe, and he's got to uproot everything and go to Europe. I'm not sure what his family situation is, wife, kids, or whatever. I've seen him at Cooney a few times with the same lady. I imagine he's either married or has a long-term girlfriend. But maybe that's a. I'm just trying to think as a human being. You would think he'd want to stay here. It sounded like he was very much open to staying in Sacramento. Again, this isn't the end-all be-all. It really isn't. But I'm trying to compile a case throughout the season. And honestly, we have access to Scott. It's something I like to ask him. And I think he can speak to Trey Lyles because he's not a member of another NBA team. Obviously, he's not going to be like, Trey sucks. But generally, in this case, here's the two leading options for me. Number one, the most obvious one, which I 100% do not believe is true. Underline, pregnant pause. I 1,000% don't believe this is true. But on the surface, you say, wonder if he has a cancer in the locker room.
Yeah.
Nothing. We've heard nothing but great things about Trey Lyles. So, okay, so let's put that aside as highly unlikely. The other one is, well, you have the vet minimum available. You also have still, by the way, the full mid-level exemption, and you have these glaring holes in the front court.
Yeah.
What? You don't have room?
Right.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. And, what he did do was sign a guy like Schroeder. They needed a point guard.
Yeah.
And then I think they felt they needed a backup point
Sure.
guard, and that's Westbrook, which didn't cost them a lot of money. But I think the other thing that we've said multiple times, and I'll keep saying, I can see why they were pursuing Kuminga. I can 100%. See it. It made a lot of sense for age, for potential growth there, for what this roster needed. And obviously, it didn't happen. They still could be pursuing him after the fact, but I think that made a lot of sense in what they were trying to do.
Well, and also, if we go to the soft rebuild section,
yeah,
if we had Scott Perry hooked up to a lie detector test, yeah. And I also could see him saying, well, here's the thing. Yeah, Trey Lyles would probably be better, but first off, I'm not really whether we win or lose games, there's a strategy to both that are good. But secondly, I'd rather see what Cardwell and Isaac Jones can do. Yeah. I know what Trey Lyles is. Yeah. I want to see if we have a diamond in the rough here, and I'd rather, which is exactly what guys like me have been saying all along. So that's why, again, I'm trying to build a case because I don't know yet what he's doing. Number 3, please.
Question 3.
The Kings begin their first extended road trip against OKC this week. How many wins do you see them getting?
And Beeman on the chat says, maybe this team made a short-sighted decision cutting him and it was a bad idea. I don't think there's a hidden reason. We do that a lot.
Could be.
Could be. I don't think they tripped and fell and accidentally didn't re-sign Trey Lyles. In fact, I know for a fact there were extended discussions and people were asked, and it wasn't like they were like, oh, man.
I'm all out of cash.
Yeah. Trey Lyles is gone. Crap, forgot. Jason, were you supposed to re-sign him? Chris, did we just forget?
Yeah.
No, this was a conscious decision. And again, I just want another reason. Well, don't take my word for it, Jason. Let's look at the upcoming road trip for the 1-and-deuce Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, 4-gamer.
Well, they start off in Oklahoma City. Now, I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer here, but I think that's going to be a tough game for the Kings.
I would agree. Then back-to-back.
Then they go back-to-back. Let me see if the line is out yet. Hold on. Today is Monday, right? It sure is. Yeah, no line yet. That was good.
Thunder actually played tonight. So that's the one little bit of thing that would help the Kings, but I don't know if that'll be.
And they're at the Mavericks.
Yep.
Well, let's hope for how about triple overtime?
So the Kings will beat them to OKC.
And hopefully beat them in OKC. Yeah. Kings will be underdogs by, I'm just going to guess.
Well, I guess it all depends on tonight. If something happened to SGA or whatever, but
I'm going to say Oklahoma City -9.5.
What's my number?
Is that your number, Chris?
-11.5.
Wow. Chris hates the Kings. All right. Then, as you said, so the good news is the next night they play Chicago.
Undefeated
Chicago, and it's the next night, too. So what happens to OKC tomorrow will happen to the Kings in Chicago. Luckily, that's a pretty short flight. Then they've got a couple of days off. They turn around and at Milwaukee, Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Antetokounmpo trio. Then at Denver. You know what? Hey, just want to shout out the NBA schedule makers. Thank you. Where is it? I think this is the first time since 2001 we haven't played at Denver on the second night of a back-to-back.
Maybe they do later.
I guarantee you they do, dude. Every single time it seems we play in Denver, it's on the second night of a back-to-back. At Milwaukee, at Denver. Hey, and then they come home for the Warriors. And then Thunder. And Minnesota. And Denver. And Atlanta. Now, this Atlanta game is interesting.
That's the second night of a back-to-back.
This Atlanta game is really interesting to me. I've circled that game. Mm-hmm. Do you know the last time? By the way, I'm circling these for different reasons. Do you know do you want to take a guess as to the last time I circled a Kings game for reasons in the orbit of what I'm about to say? Detroit last year. Detroit made a big deal out of the Detroit game last year. Kings lost to Detroit. Mike Brown gets fired. Everything goes crazy, right? So obviously that's not the case. And for those asking, I don't think, as I've said before, I think short of Doug Christie, breaking laws and burning down the building, I think he gets the whole year. I just really honestly do. But I think this Atlanta game is the line of demarcation for a lot of fans. Here's what I'm saying. On this road trip and between now and Atlanta, barring injuries and crazy things unforeseen, would you disagree with me that the Kings might be favored in one of these games, and that's at Chicago?
I don't think they'll be favored in that game.
I don't either. Okay, so I don't either. I was trying to be cool. But so the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games, do we agree the Kings will not be favored in any of those games?
Probably not.
I mean, I just don't see Golden State, Denver, maybe Minnesota. I don't. Ugh. Do you see another possibility I'm missing as far as could they be favored? Because Chicago is the closest one to me.
No, I don't think they will be.
I don't either. Okay, now that doesn't mean there's upsets. All that does not mean they're
4.5. Then big deal.
But
yeah,
we're looking at this stretch now of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games before Atlanta.
Well, and they may not even be favored against Atlanta.
You're right.
It's the second out of a back-to-back. That Denver game the night before is that 8 o'clock game.
That's right.
So it's less than 24 hours later.
So, and by the way, it's on NBC.
That's right, Peacock, yeah.
So, Kings are 1 and 2. Let's just I'm going to give them in these next 8 games that they are not going to be favored in probably any of them. Jason, I'm going to give them 2 wins.
Okay.
I'm going to give them 2 upsets.
All right.
Going to be nice and kind. Hey, they've been in all these games before. Their styles make fights. They went undefeated against the Rockets last year. The Rockets were obviously, trust me, all these games are not going to go the way Vegas thinks it's going to go. That never, ever, ever has happened ever in the world.
But that would be 3 and 8.
That would be 3 and 8. Now, here's why the Atlanta game really interests me. Because the Atlanta game is the 5th home game and the final home game of that home stand before they go to Minnesota, San Antonio, OKC, Memphis, Denver, and then come home for Minnesota. That is the last game before they leave. It is conceivable. In fact, again, Vegas would tell you it is probable that going into that Atlanta game, they will most likely be 0-4 at home or 1-3, barring, again, miracles. Again, just speaking to the odds, I think if they are 0-4 on that home, if they get swept on that home stand too, everybody's thinking, okay, it's Denver, it's OKC, it's Golden State, it's Minnesota. These are all contending teams. Mm-hmm. They lose to Atlanta to go 0-5, which means 0-5. That puts them, what are we saying, like a 3-10, 3 whatever. That's the line of demarcation where I think about 90%. I think right now we're at about 60% of the fan base has jumped off. Like about a little over half of the fan base is like, yeah, this season. And you've got, and I'm not condescending or making fun of them. God bless everyone. Like, I hope they're right. But you've got probably 45% of the fan base is like, guys, got me. Dave, quit being an idiot. We're 3 games into the season. What are you doing? Like, give it some time. You're not a smart man. And fine. I think that 45%, if after that Atlanta game, if things go the way we think they're going to go, I think that 45% goes to about 15%. And then I think now all of a sudden you've got 80 to 85% of the fan base is like, and by the way, that's where the fan base, in my opinion, should be. No expectations other than not doing well. It's better for you mentally. I think the organization will see that as well, go, are we really coming back from this? And then it's up to them to say, well, are we going to try to go get one more win now player or do some win now things? Or are we going to finally tap the mat, take the arm bar, come back and fight well the other day, the next day or whatever. So I think that's a very important game come Atlanta. A lot more talk on this later. When we come back, we'll take a quick break, take a big